Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I am Maria Danica Sikaya, a TLE teacher in this institution. So before I start my topics, let me just say thank you to our principal, to our department heads, and to our TLE department head for entrusting me to share these topics to you. Since the announcement of lockdown in our country due to COVID-19 pandemic last year, we are not allowed to do the face-to-face meetings. With this situation, we use the alternative by doing the online meetings, the online activities. And with these online meetings and online activities, we were able to be familiar with different tools and different applications that we can use online. So today I will be sharing to you the some of the Google Suite applications, which are the Google Forms, the Google Meet, and the Google Drive. I know these applications are very familiar to most of you, and I just hope that what I will share today will give you more knowledge and more insights on how to do with these applications. So without so much ado, let's first start with Google Forms. Okay, so in this topic, I've extracted this for five contents. First one is to discuss to you what is Google Forms. The second one is to show you on how to access Google Forms. The third one, which is the highlighted content of this topic, is the Google Forms for assessment. It deals with the extraction or conversion of document file to Google Form. I will demonstrate that later on. And then the fourth one is the Google Forms tool icons. So I will show you the different tools or different tool icons that we have for Google Forms. And the last one is that we will be having our Google Forms activity. So, what is Google Forms? According to google.com, Google Forms is a web-based app used to create forms for data collection purposes. Students and teachers can use Google Forms to make surveys, quizzes, or event registration sheets. So let's take, for example, what we have during webinars. Okay, I know that there is someone assigned to give links to the participants whenever we have webinars. Okay, those links are directed to the attendance form or what we call the online attendance. Those online attendance form are made by or made through Google Forms. Okay, so later on you we can have a sneak peek on how to do with Google Forms. So in this topic, we will be focusing more on the Google Forms assessment for assessment. So moving forward, how to access Google Forms, given that you have an internet connection. Okay, so I am saying this one because we cannot access the Google Form if you do not have the internet connection. So the first possible way to access the Google Form is through email. By logging in your email, click the waffle icon and find the icon for forms. The second possible way is through your Google Drive. Click the Drive icon in the waffle icon in your email. And the third possible way to access your Google form is by typing in the URL, by typing forms.google.com in the URL box. So let me just do away with my slide presentation and let me show you the three possible ways to access Google Forms. Okay, so the first one is through your email. So this is my Google email interface. Okay, so in here in the upper right portion of the interface, we can see this waffle icon. This is what we call the waffle icon. So if I hover this one, it will give us the label Google Apps. And when I click this one, you will see the different applications that we could use for this email account. Okay, so we are looking for Google Forms. So when I scroll it down, we can see the icon for Google Forms. And when you click that one, it will automatically give you the interface for your Google Forms. The second possible way to access your Google Form is through your Google Drive. So let's go back to my debit email account. So I will go back again to my waffle icon. I will click that one and it will automatically show me the icon for Google Drive. And when I click that one, it will direct me to my Google Drive interface. And in the left side, upper left side of my Google Drive interface, I can see the new button. And when I click that one, okay, and the bottom part of it, it will give me the selection for Google Forms. And when I click that one, it will give me a blank form on my Google Form interface. So that's another way to access the Google Form. The third possible way to access our Google Form is through URL, okay, in the URL box. So we will create a new tab. In here, we can type forms.google.com. And when we press enter, it will automatically direct us to our Google Forms. So these are the three possible ways to access our Google Form. So by this time, we will be converting a document file into our Google Forms. Why do we need to convert document files? So I believe everybody or every one of us has this document file for our pre-test or post-test. So I will not recommend that you will type the questions and the options manually to Google Forms. So uh, this is an alternative way for you to do the conversion of that document file to make it to Google Form. So how do we do it? So first, let me just do away with the many tabs that I have in here. Okay. So in my email account, I will change that to my usual Gmail account so that it would be easier for my students or my participants to access my Google form. Okay, so let's go first to docs. Okay. Or let me just type here docs.google.com. Okay, I will change that to my usual Gmail account. Okay, so I will upload the pretest in this interface because I have I what I have is the offline document file for my pretest. So what we need to do or what I need to do is to click blank document. So it will give me the untitled document interface and then I will go to file and then click open. So to open a file, it has different options, but in my case, I will uh, click upload because I will upload the offline document file to be in this docs.google.com. Okay, so I will select my file from my device. So it's already directed to my folder. I will choose this file, pre or post test sample. I already made a sample. Okay, so it's already uploading. Okay, let's just wait for a while. And then there, this is my pre-test or post-test sample. Okay, so when I didn't know about the conversion of document file to Google Forms, what I did is to highlight and then copy it and then paste it into the Google Forms. And then go back again to my Google docs.google.com tab and then highlight the option one by one, which is very dragging to do. So the good thing in this interface that we could have the conversion uh, by not clicking one tab to another. So I will just delete this one. I will just close this tab and go to add-ons. Okay. So I already have installed Doc2Form add-on application, but if you do not have yet to your docs.google.com, you just search docs or Doc2Form, and then it will show you the installer. So by clicking this one. But since I've already installed it, it says here uninstall. But if this is new to you, it will say here, you will be having an install button. So if it's new to you, just click the install button and it will automatically go to your docs.google.com application. So I will just close that one because I already have it here. So going back, I will choose add-ons in the upper part of my docs.google.com. So I will choose doc to form and then create form from doc. Okay. So when I click that one, it will give a pane in here in the right side. So with this add-on application, I don't need to click one tab to another tab to copy the questions and then the options one by one. So what does it do here is to just highlight the question and then you don't need to copy and paste it. You just click this use selected text button and voila, it will reflect the highlighted text that you just highlighted a while ago. And then, since this is a multiple choice question, the type of question I will select here is multiple choice. So, I will just copy, sorry, I will just copy the options. You might want to do Control C or right click copy, but I'm comfortable with Control C. And then paste it here using the keys Control V. Okay. So for it to be separated in Google Form, we need to uh, press the semicolon button in the keyboard for it to be separated in the Google Form. Okay. So I'm done with question number one, and then I will add another question for question number two. Highlight the question, use selected text, click the use selected text button, and again it will reflect. And then again, this is a multiple choice question, and then copy again the options, Control C, and then paste it, Control V. Again, don't forget to put the semicolon. Okay. So I think this is the quite I mean this is quite easier than changing one tab to another. Okay. I'm done with the second question. And then I will add again another question, which is a multiple choice question again. Use selected text, type multiple choice. Okay. So because I think most of our pre-test exams are multiple choice. So I made it to a point that my example will be more on multiple choice. Okay, semicolon again. And then up to my fourth question. This question is answerable with a short answer. It is not a multiple choice either. So, okay, I will just select text because the students or the participant will only answer it through text and not those lengthy texts. So the type is text. Then the last question for my example, this question is answerable with a lengthy text. So I might as well use the type paragraph. Okay, so supposing this is a 40 item pre-test, I just had the 5 examples so that we will not consume so much time with my topic. So we're done copying the questions and options for us to create a form. So the last thing we need to do is to click the create form button. Okay, it may take some time and then voila. Your form has been created. It is located in your Google Drive. So to automatically view the form, you'll just click this button, view form. Okay. So this is the form, the Google form looks like. Okay. So in here, we might as well edit some of the items. But first, we'll just explore this interface. So I don't want this title. I want to change this. So I might as well edit this one. I will change this to G10, MOGS, P10, PLE, ICT, CSS, pretest. Okay. So once I change it here, it will reflect automatically in the title. Okay. So we'll run through with our items. Okay. So the first item, okay, even if we had it perfectly with a semicolon, it gave us another space for option. So we will just remove this one and then this another option. Okay. So in every item, you can choose whichever answer you would like the participants to answer. So we already selected that during our docs.google.com interface conversion. So in the bottom part of the items, we have here the uh, icon for duplicate. So if I will click this one, it will duplicate the item. So automatic. So and this one is the trash bin icon. This will delete the item that you want to delete. So a while ago I showed you the duplication. Now I will show you the deletion. So I will delete this item. Okay. So the another thing in in each item of the Google form is the required button. Okay, so we need to um, turn on the required button so that every time every time the students or the participants will be required to answer this item before proceeding to another questions or another items. And then the last uh, button here is for us to have change the description, go to section based on answer and or shuffle or option order. So I don't need to shuffle the order of my items because I already arranged it in my documents conversion. So in the upper part of the Google form, I we have here the palette icon. Okay, so in here, when we click this one, it will customize the themes. Okay, we have header, theme color, background color, and font style. So I don't need to change my theme color, background color, and font style because I want it to be simple and easy to read with to my participants or students. What I would like to change is my header. So I will click this choose image, and then we are in work and in school. So these are the possible options that we could use for the header. And since my subject is more on ICT, so I will choose this one. It depends on your type of what color and image would you like to do as a header. So when I click that one, it gave me the insert button. So I will click insert and we'll see what will happen. There, I already have my header. I've already changed my title. I already edited my items, and I will go further first with my items. If there are some extingency of options, I will delete it. Okay, there. At least it would be easier for you to just delete and not to just encode everything manually in Google Form. Okay. By the way, don't forget to click required. Did I? Required, required, and then required. Okay. So everything is set up. And then now we can use this button. This is the preview button. Okay, so when we click this one, it will give you a preview on what the students or the participant will see if they will be having this link, or they will have, or whenever they will have the link that you want to share with regards to your Google form. So this is what Google form looks like when they receive this one. So we will close it first. And then another icon, tool icon, is the gear icon. Okay, this is for your settings. Okay, so in the settings, you have three tabs: the general, the presentation, and the quizzes. So I will not change anything in this gear icon because I will have the default settings. Okay, so since my Google form is already set up, I will click send for me to be able to share it with my students or participants. Okay, we have an option on how to send this form. First is through email. Okay, you can type in the email address of your students or participants here. And then also we have link. Okay, so I usually use this link. Okay, so if you want it to be shortened, because this is quite long, you can click the checkbox for shorten URL. Okay, so we'll go to another option again. This is the embed HTML. If you have websites, you can use this embed HTML for it to be embedded into your website. And then we could share the form or send the form through Facebook or Twitter, but I do not recommend it for security purposes. So going back, I will go to link. This is the most used sending form for me. I don't know which is comfortable with you, but I'm very comfortable with this. Okay, so whenever I check this button, I can easily click copy and then send it to my students group chat, to my students Google meetings. I can paste it into their message box, okay, or whichever medium you want it to share with this uh, URL. So just be sure that you kept this URL with you. So just click copy, and then I could easily paste it to any mediums that I want. So we're done with converting document files to Google Form and then exploring the different icons in the Google Form. So let me go back to my slide presentation. So by this time, we'll be having the Google Forms activity. So what are the possible activity that we could have? Number one, um, I hope we could make an online pre or post test of your subject taught using Google Forms, or just the way that we did it a while ago. Okay, copy the shortened link of your pre or post test made out of Google Forms. And then compose an email, paste the shortened link on the content box. And then uh, it will ask the subject. So please use this subject 2021-0315-19 underscore inset underscore Google form underscore Google underscore forms. And please send it to mariadanica.asikea@deped.gov.ph. So that's it for our Google Forms, and see you in the next video.